So we've seen several notions that help us understand how the blockchain works, like the fact that it's just a ledger, the fact that we have public and secret keys to digitally sign our transaction, the fact that there's miners monitoring this decentralized and distributed ledger at any time to add them in blocks in chronological orders, solve a puzzle so they can, certify that they did some work, they prove that they did some work, and to put it on a block. And there's a consensus mechanism waiting to see if there's enough people or, miners that confirm this. And then everybody can just look at the longest blockchain and the most recent block to see what is the actual picture of the truth that it is right now, right? So by doing all of this, what we have is something that we don't need to trust anymore, right? And that's what's amazing about it, because we've always had to trust somebody. We've had to trust the bank, we've had to trust, a company. Now we don't have to trust anybody. Why? Because we trust the protocol, we trust the system, and the system is unbreakable. So because of that, we don't actually care if somebody's a bad actor or not, because it doesn't affect us. We trust the protocol. We don't need to trust anybody because we don't trust anybody, right? And that's what the blockchain solves. Now, there's a bunch of other applications for the blockchain. It doesn't have to do just with cryptocurrencies. The fact that you can have things that are saved and they're immutable and nobody can change them, nobody can alter them. If you want to alter one block, then what you have to do is, since all blocks are connected, and we can see this through here, when we have all these blocks, one thing to know is when you have a block, and this could be block 1, you have all these transactions and you have the number that you come up with, and this gives you, you solve the puzzle. Well, the next block is going to reference this block, is going to have a reference of block 1, right? So this block 2 is going to have a reference to block 1, and this reference is a hash of that. So if somebody, in, I don't know, 20 years or whatnot, comes and this is block 3, right? Block 3 has a reference of block 2, right? If somebody wants to come and change a transaction here or anything, well, what happens? The hash of this changes, so this has to change. And if this changes, well, guess what? The hash of this changes, so this has to change. So all the blocks are connected and they're immutable. You cannot change one block without changing all the other blocks. And to change all the other blocks, we've seen how much computational power and how unfeasible that would be. So then you can use the blockchain technology for a bunch of other applications, like government, government files, or things that you do not ever want to be changed. You can use it for voting. You can use it for so many applications other than just cryptocurrencies, right? But for the one we've saw, so the Bitcoin blockchain, right? It's public, it's permissionless, so anybody can get on it, right? Anybody can be a miner, anybody can be a user. It uses cryptographic hash functions to secure the blocks. It uses digital signatures, public and private keys, which we've seen. It's a P2P network, so there's no central authority. People are transaction with each other. It uses a proof of work consensus algorithm to make sure that we have the cleanest or the right version of the truth at any time, right? And because of this, what users are going to get is they'll be able to do transactions without needing to trust any third party, the other person. You don't need to trust anybody, right? Which is great. It's decentralized, so everybody has all the information at any time. And again, there's, cryptographic puzzles coupled with game theory that gives no incentive for anybody to really be a bad actor. So we have something that works. We have something that solves a lot of issues, and we have something that just makes sense, right? And this is really what the blockchain is. Now, for the purpose of this course, we wanted to understand the blockchain because we want to invest in cryptocurrencies. And this is the reason we don't want to go dig deep and spend 20 hours going into layers of blockchain. We just understand how it works, because it is going to relate into our investment process, right? So that being said, now what we need to do is go look at all these cryptocurrencies and understand how each of them kind of works.